Okay, Cheeky Monkeys, here we go. Calvin paints pictures and sells them at art shows. He charges $56.25 for a large painting and $25.80 chunk for a small painting. Last month, he sold 6 chunk large paintings and 3 chunk small paintings. How much money did he make? Chunk. Okay, so before I think, I'm going to do my answer statement. The question is, how much money did he make? He made, because I need to speak English, I can't say he make. He made blank amount of money last month. Okay, now I've written my answer statement, and now I'm going to have a think. Okay, so here's what I know. I know there's a guy named Calvin, and he's an artist, or an artiste, if you want to say it fancy schmancy. And we know he paints 2 types of paintings, large and small. The large one he makes $56.25 for, and if he sells a small painting, he makes $25.80 for a small one. So we know last month he sold 6 large ones, and he sold 3 small ones as well. So it makes sense to, first of all, split your workspace, because you know that this is at least a 2-part problem. And then it also makes sense to figure out if he's making money on large paintings and he's making money on small paintings, you should figure out how much is he making on large paintings and how much is he making on small paintings. Okay, so last month he sold 6 large paintings. So that's one thing we need to figure out. How much money is that? So 6 large paintings times 56.25 equals n, that's my unknown. 6 times 56.25, so that's my equation, and now I'm just going to set up my work. 56.25 times 6. Okay, 6 times 5 is 30. I put down the 0, carry the 3 tens. 6 times 2 is 12, plus the 3 tens I carried is 15. Put down the 5 tens, carry the 100. 6 times 6 hundreds is 36, plus the 1 I carried is 37. Put down the 7 hundreds, carry the 3 thousands. 6 times 5 thousands is 30, plus the 3 I carried is 33. So I write down 33 and put the decimal point there, and I bring down the $sign. Okay, so now what do I know? Here's what I know. That last month Calvin made $337.50 on his large paintings. So I'm done, right? Wrongo. He also sold 3 small paintings. We need to figure out how much that is as well. So he sold 3 small paintings, and every time he did that, he made $25.80. So again, here's my equation. And again, I'm going to set up my work. Okay. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. So I'm going to put down the 4 tens and carry the 2 hundreds. 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 2 I carried is 17. I put down the 7, I carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 I carried is 7. So Calvin made $77.40 on the small paintings. So now we know what he made on large paintings and what he made on the sale of small paintings. So it would make sense at this point to figure out the total amount he made last month. And the only way we can do that is by adding the money made on the large paintings to the money made on the small paintings together. So here's my equation. And then I'm going to set it up carefully, making sure to keep my places neat and tight. and that just means that they line up properly. They're not all wonky. Okay, 0 and 0 is what? It's really tough. That's a mind bender for you. 0. 5 and 4 is 9, and I bring down the decimal place. 7 and 7 is 14. Put down the 4, carry the 1. 1 and 3 is 4. 4 and 7 is 11. Put down the 1, carry the 1. 1 and 3 is 4. Bring down the $sign. So you go, Calvin. You and your art made $414.90. Bravo. So this is what you should have gotten. I hope you did. Moving on. Ooh, typo, Mrs. Witchman. Bad, Mrs. Witchman. I wonder how many of you noticed this. This is going to bother me now. The sheer horror. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my gosh, and look, typo again. What? I'm going to blame on Mrs. Johnson wrote these. It's totally her fault. No, all right, I'll take the blame. I wrote these. Okay. Anyway, on Thursday, the Meat King Market sold 210 pounds chunk of ground beef. On Friday, they sold 3 chunk times that amount. On Saturday, they only sold 130 pounds. How much more meat, or EMAT, as it said before? You were probably like, what's EMAT? How do I even figure out what EMAT is? Well, it turns out it's meat when your teacher is really overtired. How much more meat, or EMAT, did they sell on Friday than on Saturday? Okay. Okay, you need to write an answer statement, and I will accept meat or EMAT in your sentence. How much more meat did they sell on Friday than on Saturday? They sold blank more meat, EMAT, on Friday than on Saturday. Okay, so now we're going to stop and have a think. Okay, so there's a market that sells meat. On Thursday, they sell 210 pounds. On Friday, they sell 3 times that amount. And on Saturday, they only sell 130 pounds. So they want you to compare the amount they sell on Friday and on Saturday. So here's the problem, really. They tell you on Saturday it's 130. They don't tell you how much they sell on Friday, really. They tell you a clue. So here's the clue. Thursday is 210 pounds. Friday is 3 times that amount. So again, I know some of you are not fans of bar models, but this is where it's kind of helpful, because if you do a bar model, here's Thursday's amount of meat, and Friday is 3 times that amount. That kind of puts it in your head. So by looking at this, we can figure out that Friday's 3 times 210. So I'm just going to label it here with a Friday. So then I set it up. 210 times 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So that means that on Friday they sold 630 pounds. Wow. That was a good business day. Okay, so now we know what we need to know. We know how much they sold on Friday and how much they sold on Saturday. So now, do we have the info we need to answer the question, how much more meat did they sell on Friday than on Saturday? Absolutely we do. Because now we know that on Friday they sold 630 and on Saturday they sold 130. So now if they sold 630 on Friday and on Saturday they only sold 130, then that's how we figure out how much more meat they sold. So 630 minus 130, and actually I'm just going to label this up here, Friday's amount minus Saturday's amount. 0 minus 0 is 0, 3 minus 3 is 0, 6 minus 1 is 5. Whoa! They sold 500 pounds more meat, or EMAT, on Friday than on Saturday. Wow, it looks like Friday is quite a day for the Meat King market. It is quite an EMAT day. Okie dokies, artichokes. By the way, another way you could have thought about it was that if Saturday has 130, if you think about it like on a number line, if someone's at 130, how much bigger is 630? You're thinking that's definitely a subtraction because you're trying to get from here to here. So it's definitely a subtraction problem.